I'm Sandra Camphor, and I'm the theater arts teacher at Ocean Springs High School in Ocean Springs, Mississippi on the coast. And how did I get involved in theater? Well, actually, I didn't do very much theater in high school. We didn't have a theater program in my high school, but the speech teacher every year would do a senior play. And believe it or not, I was not in the senior play my senior year. I did the props, I believe. I was props or assistant stage manager or something like that, and I enjoyed it. But when I got to college, I was an English major, and I wasn't particularly interested in theater. It was, you know, when they would have plays, I would go and see them. And this is kind of funny because it's not something my students would expect from me because it's a really girly thing. But when I went to see a play, I met this guy, and he was really into theater, and I thought, well, if I want to talk to him, I guess I'm going to have to get into theater. So I went and auditioned for a part, and I got the part, and I got to work with him. But then I found that I really liked theater. As a matter of fact, I liked it so much that I switched my major. And never mind about the guy. I didn't get him, but I did get theater. And I majored in theater at Delta State University, which is in Cleveland, which is in the Delta. And when I got out, I did not work in theater immediately because I didn't teach immediately. My career got sidetracked as far as that was concerned. I was a journalist for about 10 years, but I did community theater. They were just starting Delta Center Stage, which is a community theater in Greenville, and I worked with them for years, and that's how I kept my hand in theater, and I learned so much with hands-on experience. And that's a way that if your high school doesn't have theater like mine didn't, that you can really get your hands into theater like I did. You know, you can do community theater. And so I worked with them for years, and then finally I kind of backed into teaching, and I taught English for years, and I would work with various people when they would do like presentations and little plays for various grades. Because when I first started teaching, I taught elementary school, so I would help with so-and-so was doing a little skit, and they'd ask me, well, could you help us? And I would help them with this skit or that skit. So that's how I used my theatrical background when I was teaching elementary ed. Or they would do like the May Day program or something like that. And then finally I got a chance to teach high school, and I started a theater program at Hollandale, at Simmons High School in Hollandale, and then I moved to the coast, and I started the theater arts program at Ocean Springs High School, and we've been going ever since.
And did you, now that you've got the bug, how do you tell the kids who are wanting to do theater, what is your first recommendation to them, or your main recommendation?
Do it. Just don't be afraid. I mean, even if the theater teacher at the school is a crazy person, I can't imagine who that would be, but just go and just do it. And doing theater doesn't mean you always have to be on stage, because in college, when I was doing theater, I was rarely on stage, but I did a lot of backstage work, and that's how I discovered that I really like doing technical theater, especially directing. So if you are an artist, then they need people to paint sets, to design sets and to paint sets. If you are technically inclined, then they need people to run lights and sounds and to put the sound cues together and put light cues together. If you know how to build things, they're always looking for someone to build sets or to work on sets. There are so many things you can do even if you don't act. And if you do act, they're looking for people to do that. They're always looking for people to do that. And that relates so much to some of your other classes. That your English teacher will call on you to read stuff in class. You'll do better on the debate team. You'll do great in history because you won't be afraid to raise your hand and answer a question. So just do it. Just go over and introduce yourself, or kind of hang around the department, and eventually somebody will go, well, can we help you? Who are you? Just come on in.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.